Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, it's a new day for soccer in Dallas. You're going to meet the co-founder of Atletico Dallas next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
All right, when you think about sports in America, you think about the big four. You think about baseball, football, hockey, and basketball. But by far, the fastest growing sport on the planet is soccer. And Sam Morton is in the studio. He's the co-founder of Atletico Dallas, and he is reimagining soccer in Dallas. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Absolutely. Okay, give us a little history lesson. How far back does soccer go in Dallas?
Dallas has always been a really active soccer market, dating back to the Dallas Tornadoes in the 70s, the Dallas Sidekicks in the 80s. And truth be told, the Hunts had a lot to do with that, bringing soccer to Dallas. But, starting with the 1994 World Cup, which was played at the Cotton Bowl, soccer really kind of went to that next level in America. Before that, there was no professional league. MLS didn't exist. There was very limited access to it on television. Matt and I remember watching it on Univision and learning Spanish to watch international soccer when I was a kid. So it's come a long way, but certainly the 94 World Cup was that kind of catalyst to take soccer to the next level. And, fast forward, almost 30 years, and here we are with the World Cup right around the corner again here in Dallas.
Wow. And we're going to talk more about the 1994 World Cup in a minute. We're going to pull up the website, and as we scroll on the website, Sam, there has to be naysayers saying, hey, we've got FC Dallas. Why do we need another soccer team?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Dallas is a metroplex of 7.5, 8 million people. When you look at Dallas County alone, there's 2.6 million people in Dallas County. The distance from the Cotton Bowl, which is where we'll play our home games, to Toyota Stadium is equal to the distance between downtown Dallas and downtown Fort Worth. So we really believe that there is a market for us just to really own our own backyard. And for us, that's, essentially from the northern part of Garland, down to the Cotton Bowl and even further south along that kind of eastern corridor of Dallas County.
Okay, you brought me this amazing scarf, which I will treasure. Tell us about the name.
Yeah, Atletico Dallas. We wanted something that was, one, not currently in existence. There was no professional club in America with Atletico as the name. So that was one, and two, we wanted colors that were unique. And three, we wanted a more traditional soccer crest. Which is what you've got with our wolf and our snake, which is actually done by a guy in England that's a heraldic artist that hand drew these. We've got about 50 different iterations of this crest that he hand drew on sketch paper, on backs of gas bills, yes. And then it morphed into this. But we wanted to be unique. We wanted to be a little bit different. One of the naysayers is, hey, you don't have Dallas in your crest. How are people going to know that that's even a soccer club? And again, I think that's a fair question, but I always look at it this way. When I see a blue star, it doesn't have to say Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
Matt and I are building a brand that's going to be here well past our existence on this planet. And we're trying to have some foresight. What happens in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, and what's the legacy we leave behind? And we think that the crest is powerful enough with every year the brand grows that people will recognize that as Atletico Dallas.
And you're part of a league that is vibrant. How many teams?
They're in over 200 markets when you look at all of their leagues, from Championship, this is the USL, Championship Division, League One, and League Two, and then Super League. So if you look at just Dallas alone, And you look at how many USL properties are in DFW. You've got us that kick off in 27. You have Dallas Trinity, who kicked off last year. That's in the Super League of the USL. You've got the McKinney Chupacabras. You have Denton Diablos. In Texoma, you have Texoma FC. So you've got 5 different properties from the USL just in DFW alone.
Wow. Okay, you guys have done a brilliant job marketing. I love your brand video that you launched a couple of months ago. Let's go ahead and roll that.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This is my city, yeah, this is my team. If you talking, it's how to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, champion.
We're super excited to be out here for USL Dallas for the big reveal. It's a big deal in DFW sports history.
Today is a huge day.
Huge.
Soccer starts at the home at a park with a couple of kids kicking the ball around, and that's what we want to embody as Atletico Dallas.
Soccer and football is in the blood of the families in that community, just like it's in our blood.
All of you guys are going to be die-hard Atlético Dallas fans, yes or no?
It's going to bring more to the city, more to Dallas, more to Garland.
I think we got a good fan base out here in Dallas, so I think this is exactly the perfect place for it.
Let's go Atlético Dallas.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This is my city, yeah, this is my team. If you talking, it's all to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right.
It is absolutely my honor to welcome Atletico Dallas to Garland, Texas.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This is my city, yeah, this is my team. If you talking, it's all to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, champion.
Sam, I can only imagine what that must have felt like, and that had to feel like launching the Dallas Cowboys in 1960. What did I feel like?
I still get chills watching that. You know, that was a really crazy day. You know, we put a lot of work and effort in launching the brand, and that was on May 2nd, and it rained until about 6 o'clock that night. And the city of Garland did a great job and you know, keeping us afloat that night. And, you know, I think we were all expecting maybe 1,500 to 2,000 people. I think last told by cell phone data, we had over 5,000 people come out.
Incredible. For
our brand launch. And when I watched that video, again, I still get chills just to, you know, Matt and I and the team put in a lot of work. Our brand agency, Modest Works, and making this come to life, and to see it come to life that night was incredible.
Okay, we're going to show a clip in a second, but I want you to set this up. So you and your other co-founder, Matt Valentine, were at the World Cup in Cotton Bowl in 1994. Yeah. And, I mean, that was way before you dreamed of this.
Sure.
But you went back there not too long ago. Let's go ahead and roll that video.
Fans are still filing into the Cotton Bowl. It won't be a sellout, but it'll be in the neighborhood of about 50,000 fans.
The first time you come out here and do see it, you will be amazed. Mike, are you catching the fever? I think it might be heat stroke.
The whole experience of the '94 World Cup was amazing. This was really the first time that I was in a crowd at a sporting event to that magnitude.
Fans continue to pour into the bowl for the first ever World Cup game in the state of Texas, one of the first in the U.S.
Just the crowd, the excitement, there's so much anticipation. It's such a big game. There were tons of stars.
It was
playing.
5 goals in the second half. Brazil went up 2-0, and then it was a free kick.
Yeah, Broncos scored from right there. I mean, we were right in line.
It was a free kick off the bar.
Yeah, we had the perfect seat for it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
The Cotton Bowl is one of the most historic venues, not even just in Dallas, just in sports. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys started here.
Yeah, you think about the Rose Bowl, you think about the Cotton Bowl. I mean, they're in the same category.
Professional soccer and this iteration
started here.
With Dallas Burn in '96, we have the chance to bring it back here is just, you know.
Can you believe that we're sitting here even talking about it?
No, you can't even put it into words.
It's amazing.
Right. We are Dallas. We play for Dallas, Somos Dallas. And so to play in the Cotton Bowl right on the edge of downtown. There couldn't be more special.
So exciting. One of the points that you make is if you look at the epicenter of Dallas, you are so much closer to the action than, traveling to Frisco, where some people have to pack a lunch.
Sure.
Yeah. So tell us about the fan base.
Yeah, we look again. You look at that Dallas County. 2.6 million people just in Dallas County. That encompasses about 14, 15 cities. It's about 44, depending on what you look at, 44 to 46% Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
And in those families, soccer is at the forefront of everything that they do. So for us, I think Dallas is positioned, one, with a great diverse audience of soccer fans. So we want to appeal to all soccer fans, and that's why we use Atletico Plays for Dallas. So if you're a soccer fan in Dallas, whether you're in South Dallas, whether you're in Kessler Park, whether you're in a high rise, we want this to be a cool event. Mm. And, I always tell people, you don't have to be a soccer aficionado to come out and have a good time. My dream is you've got a young wife and a young husband. They're in their 30s. They're living in the town. They hear word about us. They like our colors. They test out a game. They leave, and they're talking on their way home, either on the dart or on the short drive to their apartment or whatever, and they have no idea what the score was. They don't know what the players' names were, but they know it was a great time, and they know that the beer was cold. They know it was affordable, and the energy in the stadium was good. And that's what we're trying to create. So, I think that we're going to get that natural soccer fan that will be drawn to us, but it's really making it available for everybody.
Yes.
From all walks of life, and making it affordable for people to come out and enjoy a good quality soccer game at the Cotton Bowl.
And it's very affordable. If I think about a Cowboy ticket these days, I think it's like $300-400 even for the nosebleed seats. How much do you sell tickets for?
Yeah, we're on sale right now for just ticket deposits, for season ticket deposits. We haven't rolled out our full plan of pricing yet, but tickets are going to be somewhere between $18 and $20 to $65 or $75. One of the benefits and a curse of playing in the Cotton Bowl is there's no shortage of seats. I think that's a narrative out there that, hey, it's going to feel empty, but we're going to work on boxing out the top row, the top section. We're going to pinch down. We're going to kind of push the crowd closer to the pitch.
Yes.
And we'll probably go on sale with between 14 and 16,000 seats, somewhere in that price range. The one thing that we're trying to do, and this is important to the city of Dallas, is let's make it cool again to go to the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
When Matt Maurer and we grew up and that video in 1994, it was a big deal for us to go to the Cotton Bowl. It was a special moment. My dad brought me to the Cotton Bowl to watch a football game when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. And, so much of the sports has gone outside of the city.
Yeah.
Let's make it cool again. And we're going to do our best to make it cool again, to get families to rally, to be a part of the community, and fill as many seats in that Cotton Bowl as we can.
Yeah, and if I remember my Dallas Cowboy history, they were having trouble in 1960 getting 10,000 people to show up. And I think at that point, the Kansas City Chiefs hadn't been born yet, but they were both at home at Cotton Bowl, and look at them now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you feel like you're on the beginning of just a tidal wave of excitement?
I do. We've been Atletico Dallas now for 75 days-ish. We've sold over $200,000 worth of merchandise already.
Wow.
Online. We've sold about 1,200, 1,400 season ticket deposits already. We get tagged in social media all the time of people out and about in the community wearing our jersey, wearing a hat. Chickaline, who was in that brand launch video, is a friend of mine. He's a part owner of the club on La Grande, was at breakfast Saturday morning with his family. He sent me a picture. It's a gentleman he lives over in Farmers Branch, is getting breakfast, had an Atletico Dallas jersey on. So, I think we can make an impact. I think there's plenty of room for soccer fans.
Yes.
We're not trying to be competitive with anyone else. We're trying to really just own our community. and do the best we can. But I do think that there's a really good undercurrent for us, and we still have, we're 19 months, 20 months before we kick a soccer ball. And I think that with the team that we've got and the marketing people, I think that the time kickoff comes around, that we'll be set up pretty nicely.
Outstanding. We've got about a minute left, so look into that camera on the left and talk to that soccer fan who needs to get on board this train.
Yeah, if you haven't heard about us yet, check us out at atleticodallas.com. Follow us on social. I think what you're going to find from us is, responsive ownership group that we're fans. First and foremost, Matt was out at the Londoner on Sunday watching the Club World Cup finals in a Chelsea jersey. We're fans of the game, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure our fans are taken care of as best we can. Are we going to misstep? Are we going to mess something up? Are you going to order some merch and it's the wrong size? Of course, it's a human element in everything that we do.
Yes.
But we're going to do our best to super serve the community, whether it's working with school districts. We've pledged financial aid to Dallas Parks and Rec and Garland Independent School District to build out soccer programs for the communities. Be a part of the club. Buy a season ticket deposit, buy a shirt, buy a hat, tell your neighbor about us. This is boots on the ground. This is us knocking on your door, shaking your hand. This is hand-to-hand combat, as I like to say. So support us as best you can.
I love that. We're going to end with the website, which again is atleticodallas.com. The great Sam Morton, co-founder. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.